Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody! This podcast proudly presents to you the zero-time tag team champions of the world, the Road Dogg, JJ Brownlee, the Badass, JB Faulkner, Total Spotfest Live, with the ninth wonder of the world, Nick.
And welcome back to Total Spotfest Live. I am JJ Brownlee, and with me by my side is the illustrious Jamie Faulkner.
Marks rejoice, we are back.
And we are accompanied by a man who needs no introduction. We give him one anyway. He doesn't deserve it, but here it is, the ninth wonder of the world, Nick.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
So, welcome back to Total Spotfest Live. Thank you guys for joining us. We do want to start off here, before we get too far into this, just to let you guys know, we are changing up our format slightly. You know, we've been talking, and instead of releasing on Wednesdays and Fridays, we're going to start doing these, releasing them on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So, starting with this next one, we're actually going to be changing the format a little bit because we found that, you know, most of our listeners, followers, Twitter followers, you can follow us on Twitter at Total Spotfest, are either one camp or the other, WWE or AEW. And we're kind of on that fence. So we're going to do our Tuesday podcast is going to be WWE Power Hour, and then our Thursday podcast is going to be more AEW and others. So it's like Impact, New Japan, stuff like that. Just to kind of separate a little bit, make it a little bit easier for you guys. So if you only want to hear about AEW, we got one for you. If you only want to hear about WWE, we'll do that as well. That way, please as many people as we can. So want to get that out of the way before we get started. So Jamie, Nick, how you guys been? What's been going on?
Not too bad, man. Had some good matches over the weekend. They weren't broadcast. You had to go find them, and that's part of their charm. So looking forward to getting to those.
At least you weren't international and trying to find them online. We'll talk about that in a second.
I mean, they were available on streaming services. I mean, they weren't that hard to find.
They were not that hard to find. It was just that sort of thing that it was kind of a little egg on the face thing. They released the link, and then it's like, oh, that don't work. And And then you had the Wrath of Khan. Okay, I was gonna hold that, but I wanted to get that out. You know? he goes, F it, we're gonna put him on YouTube. So
yeah, no, it good wrestling this weekend, and then Monday happened. Yeah,
oh, Monday, good old Mondays. You know, if nothing else. Consistency. Now, we'll talk about that in a little bit. So we're gonna start by talking about AEW. They had a lot of women's action going on over the past couple days here. You know, a lot of different formats and places. So Jamie's going to start off. We're going to get talking all about all the matches we saw Sunday and Monday on Bleacher Report, YouTube, the whole 9 yards. Then we're going to go and do a real quick half-ass recap of SmackDown, and then get into Monday Night Raw, where we have things to say. So without further ado, let's just hop right into it. Jamie, why don't you take us away with the AEW Women's #1 World Cup Eliminator qualifying tournament. It's too goddamn long of a
That was the closest I think you've ever gotten to it.
That was pretty damn good, actually.
Pretty close.
That was solid. Yes. There was a lot of hot woman-on-woman action this weekend, for sure.
Oh!
Lots and lots and lots of it, and I was there for it. So the first thing happened on Bleacher Report, as we all were just talking about, and that was the Japanese finals, the semifinals for the U.S. side, and then a 6-woman tag team match. It actually opened up with the 6-woman tag team match, and I'm calling it now. I don't care what you guys have to say. It was my match of the show.
It was my match of the women's specials.
Plural. Nice.
Yeah, it was
great. I agree with you, actually, even though the finals of the U.S. was pretty damn good, too. So, anyway, this match had Hikaru Shida, Mei Saruga, and Rin Kadokura versus Emi Sakura, Veni, and the owner of our hearts, the leader of the Ito Simp Army, Maki Ito.
Maki Ito! Soon, hopefully one day, member of the Dark Order, Maki Ito.
Oh, that would just make my heart happy.
That'd be so great.
So this match, I mean, it was just honestly kind of balls to the wall from the jump. For me to pick out one great thing that happened in it would just be silly because there are so many great things. So cut short really quick, Hikaru Shida, Mei Suruga, and Rin Katakura get the win. Hikaru Shida and Emi Sakura ended it with just going back and forth, and that was amazing in itself. Because again, okay, first off, can I just say something really? I'm just gonna off the rails for a second.
Get it out, man.
Please.
This bullshit that Serena Deeb is calling herself the woman of 1,000 holds, like that doesn't fly with me because I've been saying for how long now that Emi Sakura is the woman of 1,000 holds.
Yeah,
I call that shit first. I call dibs.
Okay, you're calling dibs, and okay. Here's my question to you, Jamie. Okay, are you sure that Serena's the one saying this, or is this a marketing thing coming from AEW?
It's probably a marketing thing from AEW who stole it from me.
All I gotta
want my
say,
royalties.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm trying to say you're trying to lay claim to dish out that, and you don't have any marketing dollars behind you. AEW is like, fuck you. You will do whatever we want.
Fair.
Just say.
I just disagree with it. I disagree with it hardcore.
I think it's horse shit myself.
You need to start the woman of 1,004 holds then.
I'm here for it because she does kind of have that heel thing going for her right now.
Let Serena have the 1,000 holds, and then you hit her up on Twitter, start banging, like, hey, woman of 1,004 holds.
Okay, I'll do that, and then I'm also gonna work on getting blocked by Bruce Prichard. We'll get into that when we get to Raw. But anyway, so this match was great. So there was this one spot where Maki Ito got right in the middle of the ring, and she was doing like this little song and dance thing, while Emi Sakura had Mei Suruga set up for a Mexican surfboard, and she did rolling Mexican surfboards all the way around Maki Ito while she was singing, and then she had Mei Suruga up on top of the Mexican surfboard, and then Maki Ito ran across the ropes and ran back and then did her little side headbutt thing. It was
she was elevated. Yeah,
spectacular.
And you missed the part that because before she got her in the surfboard, she was doing the whole Freddie Mercury, ayo, ayo,
yeah. We don't want to talk about that.
And Maki was being the one who was singing back to her, and then as she got her up, Maki came in and continued it and kept the high note. So it was actually even more masterful because it was a play on Emmy doing the whole like Freddie Mercury back and forth into that.
Dude, everything about Maki Ito is fantastic. And like, you guys found her first, and I just kept hearing you drop her name, and I'm like, okay. And I figured I'd find out sooner or later what the appeal was. And you guys know how I am. A lot of times we disagree. This one, dude, Maki Ito she's awesome. She's
so good.
Awesome.
She's got
every little mannerism is so perfect, and it's everything about her is original.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it all suits her. I struggle finding the words.
I mean,
I appreciate her so much.
All I will say is that the only thing she really needs to improve on or could work on is she just needs a little bit better wrestling skill. She's still a little bit green in spots, but that's all teachable stuff.
Oh yeah,
she has the it. She has the it.
She does.
She has the wit. She has the social presence. She can hold herself. She can play characters and go different. I mean,
that's a good way to put it. With the it.
I mean,
like it's just you can tell it's very she's very naturally talented.
Yeah,
given some direction, she'll be best ever.
You can learn that stuff. You can learn holds and moves, and that's teachable.
Yeah. So she's amazing. I do want to highlight one more Emi Sakura, woman of 1,004 holds now. She did a 2-person submission on Hikaru Shida and
that was so good looking.
On Mei Suruga. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I'm here for it because this is just like nipple hard. Like, wow. You know me, I'm a sucker for a good submission.
Again with the nipples every fucking week. I swear to God, man.
Well,
you might want to see a doctor. I don't know what's going on with your nipples.
It's a little drafty in my house. But you know.
Okay.
But anyway, so the great thing about this too, Vinny showed out. Like,
Ooh, she looks strong.
she looked so damn good, and I just kept thinking to myself, I'm like, she needs to be in the United States like yesterday. Her style complements the United States style very much, like how we run matches, high flying, uber athletic, really strong, creative with her moves. I mean, she just is otherworldly comparatively, and you could see it. She might not be able to talk, which is fine. Give her a Mr. Fuji or somebody of that nature. Like get her, not Jim Cornette, but get her somebody who can
Asuka
talk.
barely talks English. I mean,
Yeah.
shit. Like Io.
It's true.
Get her a
Yeah.
manager.
Io talks a little more, but who cares?
Get her a manager. Like what was that? James Mitchell.
Oh,
There you go. Now-
She would go. Oh,
Now JJ's nipples.
my
Did you
nipples are
guys
hard
ever
now.
see that backstage clip with Shinsuke Nakamura? And I think it was Renee was interviewing him, and he said, "I learned English, and I forgot."
Oh, when he was healed, he was trying to play like he doesn't understand English. I do remember that.
All right, so this match happened. As I said, Hikaru Shida won, doing her knee strike. It has some really cool Japanese name. I don't remember what it's called, but it looked really good. So Hikaru Shida won. Then Emi Sakura got all pissed and started attacking her. Then Maki Ito came in, and then Vinny came in. They tried to attack him, and then Hikaru Shida, Mia Saruga, and Ren Katakura cleared the ring. Which, by the way, that ring is itty freaking bitty. They even called it out on the broadcast. But
Was
the thing
that
is
16 by
itty-bitty.
16? A lot of the like Japanese only promotions that aren't big do the smaller ring. It looks better because cultural thing. Japanese women are smaller than Western women by nature. You know, they're
It just fits in
physically,
frame a little
yeah.
cozier.
So you got 4 or 5 foot tall women. It looks better in a 16 by 16 ring. So that's why a lot of those smaller promotions, Tokyo Yoshi, DDT, they do it in 16 by 16.
So we get into, right after that, they go right to the Japanese women final. And I am here, one, to apologize publicly to Ryo Mizunami because I hated her style. I still kind of do. But her no selling, I gave her a bunch of shit about how she doesn't sell. And she sold the shit out of some good moves by Yuka Sakazaki. And it was actually a very good match. I was very pleasantly surprised. This is the best match Ryo Mizunami's had, period, since I've watched her. And it was, I mean, borderline banger, because it was really good. I mean, the first one was total banger. This one had good spots. They worked each other, submission style. They worked slow. They sped up, had good pace to JJ's, specifications.
I'm a big pace guy.
Yeah,
Yep.
like it built slow, then it built up, and they kept a good flurry at the end.
Yuka looked really good in this match too. She did not lose anything by losing.
No, Yuka looked damn good. Like I kind of like we talked about this before. Like Yuka, when she was first in AEW, I'm like, oh, she's adorable, she's cute, whatever, and she's just whatever. And then now we've actually got to see some more of her matches where she's like more spotlighted. I'm like, damn, this girl's good. And then I happened to watch a video on YouTube about the ace of the promotion. Like they did a thing about her and some other person for Tokyo Joshi, and it was really good. Told her story, talked about how where she started, and and she came up and built up. It's actually a really good find. If you can find it on YouTube, go for it. It's talking about how her and this other woman were vying for the ace of the promotion, like the top dog, the John Cena's, whatever. She became the ace of Tokyo Joshi, so she was the ace of Tokyo Joshi before this. So that's kind of cool.
Interesting.
Even without the title, because as you know, you don't necessarily need a title to be the ace. So anyway, good match, back and forth. Unfortunately for me, but pleasantly surprised, Ryu Mizunami did in fact pick up the W. So the prophecies of the internet are proving true.
You think that it's just writing on the wall that because this is the one who Shida has not faced, that it's just they're just following.
Is that all
Okay.
that's driving it?
That's what the rumor mill is. Yes.
All right, what was your guys' thoughts of this match?
I love Yuka. I like watching her. I like her a lot. Rio's cool, but I was pulling for Yuka all the way. I wasn't at all surprised though that Rio ran with it.
Right. I mean, I said last week that my hopeful scenario was to have a Yuka Thunder Rosa final, and I would prefer that. That's getting more in line with what I dig. Now, I agree with you, Jamie. This match exceeded my expectations. I thought this was going to be the snooze fest of the three. It's like, okay, I'll just take a break here and go get a cup of coffee or whatever. But it was a good match, good build, good pacing to it. Yuka got over really well, and Ryu, although I think what I don't like. I mean, I like her. I don't hate strong style, and because I made some disparaging marks about some people who are strong style wrestlers, in the past few weeks. It's not that I dislike strong style, whether it's Japanese or British strong style. I just feel like you got to have more to it than just be a nameless, faceless, like clubbing machine, And I feel like Ryu, she doesn't really have a lot of depth to her character,
Agreed.
So that's what I don't get off of Ryo. I think that she could put a match together, and this was a good example of it. So I'm hopeful we'll see what happens with the final, and then from there we'll see where we go. But I was pleasantly surprised, and yeah, that's where I stand on this one.
So I'm going to build off that for a second. I think in the first match against Maki Ito, to your point, was green. So Ryo had to carry that match. And Ryo didn't do very much, didn't bring her along, like we've talked about in the past.
Yeah.
Then her second match, she had to go against Asia Kong, which we definitely knew she had to bring her along because Asia Kong, I mean, she's a legend and everything, but she's a legend for a reason. She's not a spring chicken anymore. So she had to bring her along. And now she's going against Yuka Sakazaki, who is at her prime, maybe even a little bit before her prime. And they put together a great match where, honestly, Yuka probably brought Ryo along a little bit more, where it wasn't dependent on Ryo bringing everybody along. So this is why she probably shined better, because she's with a higher quality talent.
And for some of these women, like when we were doing our research, I had Ryo Mizunomi as one of the ones who I looked up, and I couldn't find any instance of her wrestling for the past year. So about 10 months or so since COVID really, really locked down over in Japan. So I can't say for certain that she was doing a lot of work, and that could be just ring rust. Like maybe she had to get back into it now, a couple matches in. Who knows? Like I said, she very well could have been wrestling some places. I just couldn't find any. I couldn't find any documented reference of her since COVID, broke out. So that plays a hand in it. It really does.
Yeah. So Japanese side of the bracket is locked. Ryo Mizunami is going to be at Wednesday's Dynamite. But now we need to find out who she's facing. Well, we have the first semifinal right after her match. And that is between Thunder Rosa and Riho. And I hate to say this, guys, and
It's the second semifinal.
it's the first semifinal. Or is it second? It's the second. Yeah, second semifinal. And the winner faces Nyla Rose.
Nyla
That's my
Rose
fault.
already
Yes,
beat.
Nyla Rose. So this is the second semifinal. The winner of this faces Nyla Rose. And I hate to say this one on this one, guys. I really do, because I love me some Thunder Rosa. This match kind of sucked.
No, you're perfectly in your right to say that. I agree.
It goes
It
back
was,
to
it
I
was
think
kind of a boring. It was a dud.
it goes back to what I had mentioned earlier about Riho. And there's some other wrestlers that are like this too, and you can make the same assumption with Ryo and Maki Ito. Is that with Riho, she's got to pair up well with the right person, and they have fought each other. Well, they haven't fought each other exclusively because they both were in Japan, but in different promotions. You would have thought they would have got along a lot better, and I'm more tempted to point the finger at Riho. I don't want to be that person that's anti-Riho. I'm not. But Thunder Rosa puts pretty much, solid bangers against damn near everybody, even when she's on Dark against somebody who's been wrestling for 6 months, stuff like that, some new developmental talent. She always puts on good matches, and she had some good spots in this, but even with that, it just felt like, I don't know. Nothing really clicked between the two of them.
So I think there was a moment on the outside where Riho may have got concussed or something, because it ended really quick thereafter. I don't remember what happened exactly, but there was a moment where I think Thunder Rosa jumped on her because she actually did the same thing to Nyla, spoiler alert. Yeah, I think something happened, because after that she seemed a little disoriented. Like, I watched it again because I'm like, why did this match suck so bad?
It looked like she had blood in her teeth too.
Yeah.
Maybe it was when Thunder Rosa kicked her in the face.
It might have been, like, I don't know, but there
She was legit she didn't she missed the mark on that.
Yeah, so maybe she was concussed. I don't know. I'd love to give Rio the benefit of the doubt, because typically she does well, and we know Thunder Rosa puts on banger matches. It just sucks.
Well, this is one we thought she would match up well with.
Yeah.
There's some wrestlers she won't match up, Rio, that is. But we thought for sure this would be a great one. But
it started out okay, then it just died. Like, on the vine. It was, yeah.
It was like,
so Thunder Rosa wins via a weird-ass looking roll-up. Whatever. She won. So Thunder Rosa moves on to the finals against Nyla Rose on AEW Monday Night Dark. Not Tuesday Night Dark. And that one had 2 matches. It was really quick, actually. It was Layla Hirsch versus
Miranda Alizé.
Chick number 2. Sure.
Miranda Alizé.
Miranda Jobber Alizé.
Yep.
So, hashtag she's a jobber. So we kind of know what happens here. Layla Hirsch wins.
She actually has history. She was actually in the Las Sicarias with Eva Lise and other promotion.
The match, I didn't like the match. It was okay.
That match was blah. I didn't mind the other one though.
Yes. So this is to get to the finals. Okay. Layla Hirsch wins.
Well, I was gonna say the other match, the Leva Bates and Maddie Rinkowski.
Oh yeah, sorry, Leva Bates and Maddie Rinkowski. I forgot about that one. I apologize. That one was also a quick match. It was better. Leva Bates looked like she was legitimately pissed in the beginning. I don't know what it was. Like, I think she was.
She took her book. She took her book.
Well, she stiff kicked her right after that too. Like, gave her a receipt. I'm like, damn.
Well, Leva Bates. As I follow Leva on Twitter,
So do I.
and she's great. Everybody should follow her on Twitter. She has a plethora of Golden Girl swag, so that's partially why I love her so much. She had put up this video a couple days ago where it was like, have you seen this woman? She's been missing from AEW programming. Just kind of a little knife dig. And Leva Bates, if you're not familiar with who she is, but you are an NXT fan,
Blue Pants.
She was Blue Pants. And she's been in a lot of other promotions. She's held titles, tag titles primarily. But she's been around the horn, and she's a good performer. And it seemed like her frustration of not maybe getting booked, because she wasn't in the tournament. So if you're not in the tournament, a lot of people basically weren't getting, or have been sidelined for a couple weeks here. That happens in wrestling. You go hard, and then you get a month or so where you don't work any shows, you recover, and then you go hard again. But she looked like she took her frustration out on Maddie Rinkowski, who's heel now. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't get her. I'm sorry. I don't get that. I don't get Maddie at all. So Maddie ripped up a book. Like, yeah, whatever.
And then used it in a very smart way. The rest back was turned, and she used it and popped Leva good and hard on the head with the book. And got the win. And so, whatever. I don't know. Is she face? Is she heel? Is Leva heel? Is nobody heel? Who knows?
Yeah, that
But it was
50-50 booking.
It was a decent match.
Yeah. So it was good, but I just want to get to the final, because the final was a banger. I thought so. I thought it was a hell of a good match. Like, it was probably the best Nyla's looked in a hot minute. Let's just be real. Like, Nyla,
I don't know. Nyla, I think she looked better against Ty Conti.
Well, that's No, you think Ty Conti looked better in that match, but whatever.
No, I think I definitely think Ty Conti looked great in that match, but I think Nyla personally, I thought she looked better in that match than she did in this one.
She did. She didn't do a whole lot in this one. Nothing fancy.
Other than maybe get concussed.
Yeah,
She did get
she
concussed,
totally
yeah.
got fucking concussed.
I thought for sure Bruce was going to put up the X because he looked like he was close because it was definitely not kayfabe, but he was out there like shooing Thunder Rosa away.
Yeah, because Thunder Rosa's got to pick her up and bring her in. Like, whoa, hold on, let her get up.
So is Thunder Rosa going to be the Nia Jax of AEW? Is that what's going on here? She just goes around kicking people in the head, eliminating the competition.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, okay, you wouldn't think you'd be. I mean, very few women are the same size as Nyla Rose, and you wouldn't think that you'd be the one to hurt her,
Right.
if you're doing a spot. So
Yeah,
that's a little unfair, and the real thing was just a botch.
Yeah.
yeah. Like she just. So what we're talking about was there's a spot where,
Rosa,
yeah, so Thunder Rosa was up on the apron on the hardest part of the ring, and Nyla was down on the floor.
part of the ring.
And she does her Thunder Rosa does her jump like crossbody into into Nyla. Well, it was a little high. Let's just call it for what it is, because it looked like Nyla was gonna try to catch her, do her catch thing, and it was a little high, so she smacked her right in her face, and Nyla looked like she's head first right onto the freaking floor, and she didn't even know if it was Tuesday, Wednesday, or Waffle House. Like, I'm just gonna call it that. Like, she did not know what the hell was going on.
I like that. I'm gonna use that.
It was great. It was one of those. I say that's horrible. I shouldn't say it's great that somebody got hurt. But what was great about it was you could see like immediately, like, oh no, that's definitely real.
So
That's the downside to shooting in an basically empty arena with just 15 wrestlers in the crowd, like they do for Dark, is you can't hide that shit.
yeah,
No.
well, the wrestlers were hot and loud, and as soon as that happened, everyone was like, "Whew." We got dead quiet.
I know. They all knew. They're like,
shit.
oh yeah.
They're like, oh
I
shit,
know
she's
that.
hurt. What are we gonna do? Play a B. But though she was able to get up because obviously she was able to shake it off, and she did pretty good. Thunder Rosa definitely carried her, helped her out. Thunder Rosa did her patented signature, iconic, classic. Vintage, there we go, Michael Cole, vintage corner dropkick, which I adore. I love Thunder Rosa's corner drop. I think it's pretty, it's just beautiful, whatever. So let's get to the end of the match. Good pacing, everything. I loved it. I know that there is a possible concussion, or more than likely definite concussion, which is really going to make Wednesday very, very interesting if she is concussed. Well, what happened was, like, Thunder Rosa keeps just doing big move after big move after big move, and Nyla just keeps kicking out. Like, Nyla's not giving up. Thunder Rosa's like, I'm trying to put this bitch away, and she's just saying no. So it was awesome. Thunder Rosa gets up to the top rope to do a big move, waits for looks like she's going to do a top rope hurricane rana. That's what it looked like. That's what she was going for. Well, she jumps into Nyla Rose's hands into arguably the biggest beast bomb I have seen out of Nyla Rose. And that was one of my big moments for Nyla. That's what gave her the edge of this is a hell of a match for her. Because it was ferocious. It was just unadulterated, just maniacal. It was beautiful.
It reminded me. It's like we talked about. Was it? I don't remember what it was, but when that guy Drew McIntyre had that the match against AJ where he did the Claymore from like dead standstill out of midair.
Yeah.
It had that same sort of feel because it was just a masterful like reversal into a beast bomb all in one foul swoop.
It looked good. It looked good.
So that was a great ending.
Yeah, Nyla hits the beast bomb 1, 2, 3. She is the winner. She is moving on to face Ryo Mizunami once again the internet prophecy is proving true, and the chosen one, Ryo Mizunami of the internet, goes against the U.S. champion, if you will, of Nyla Rose on Wednesday's Dynamite. Thoughts?
Well, I do know that if you're watching on YouTube live like I was and you saw the chat rolling along there, the internet was not pleased with the end result of that match.
Oh, no.
They were Thunder Rosa losing is not something they liked, and Nyla Rose going. So I'm with you too, because you got two options here. You got the match we've seen already, and do we really want to see Nyla Rose? I went back and just double checked here. There's been 3 women's champions in AEW's history. 2 years, but 3 women's champions. Riho, Nyla Rose, Shida. That's it. Shida is the longest reigning AEW champion of any variety, period. It needs something fresh. Her facing Nyla is not fresh. I don't believe they're going to give the belt to Ryo. I think that makes more sense that she's going to fight her. Here's my worry, okay? And as much as I want to start this by saying, I agree with you. We've talked in the past weeks that the AEW's women's divisions come leaps and bounds from where they were. I worry that they're leaning too heavy on things that aren't their own. Thunder Rosa is technically not an AEW wrestler, okay? Mm-hmm. As much as I love her, she's not an AEW wrestler. Now, NWA's pretty much folded, even though Billy Corgan says, oh, no. But regardless.
They're supposed to have tapings next month.
We'll see about
exactly.
that. Exactly. We'll see about that. I mean, she's not officially an AEW wrestler. Okay, there's that. And you have those Japanese wrestlers. We don't know if any of them are going to stick around or not stick around. I don't believe she's going to drop the belt to any of them.
Yeah.
Yuka Sakazaki, maybe, because she actually did wrestle in AEW quite a bit before COVID happened. Plus, there's travel restrictions, and who knows? So, you got Britt Baker, you got Tay Conti, Anna Jay's out now, unfortunately. But Serena Deeb, who's the NWA World Champion, but whatever. But you have those 3. You've got Leva Bates, like I made mention of. You've got a lot of other talent there. Ivelisse, Steve Diamante. I want to see Ivelisse and Diamante get a damn push. I mean,
word.
You've got the tools in your belt here, and I feel like this is going to sound sensitive. I know. I feel like they're just defaulting back to Japanese versus Japanese wrestling, period, because Kenny is kind of in charge or has a big creative role in the women's division, and he's partial to Japanese female wrestlers.
No, maybe you're right.
I don't know if that does him any good in the long haul. Britt Baker as your poster for having the women's title on her shoulder is a good thing to have business-wise. Wow, I just turned into a McMahon there. Holy shit.
Britt Baker's awesome.
I think you're right.
I am right, though, right?
Britt Baker's fantastic.
Even if it's for 3 months, put the belt on somebody for 3. I don't know. You're still a young promotion, AEW. Don't be afraid to pass the belts around a little bit. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, are they signing Thea Trinidad and she's going to be the one that takes the belt? Or are they waiting for Chris Statlander to come back? Because they never really got to finish that. Like, what is it? Like,
who knows what's up? Who knows what's up with Tessa Blanchard? God only knows.
Oh, I hope they don't sign her. She's a racist piece.
Yeah,
somebody's going to sign her.
I mean,
okay?
she screams WWE just on that alone.
She does, and she was favored for that. But somebody's going to sign her, and it's going to be forgotten. Well, it's going to be pushed under the rug. Let's put it that way.
Nick, what did you think, buddy?
To be honest with you, I mean, it was okay. It wasn't great.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with Nyla Rose. At this point, I'd be surprised, actually, if she does win it, but I've picked her from this far, so I'm going to stick with her.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like she's going to win at this point, but I'm sticking with her.
All right.
Well, I feel like I must go with the internet prophecy of Ryo Mizunami at this point. I've been dead wrong the whole time. So I'm going to go with that. Because if the internet says it, it must be true, right? So the internet prophecy has marked her as the chosen one. She's our Neo. So Neo Mizunami. That's what we're going with.
She's not our Anakin.
No. Don't bring up
Jimmy's a big fan of the prequel trilogy in Star Wars, just in case you're wondering.
Yeah.
Jamie, really?
Misa,
No, that was
Misa thinks you
facetious,
suck. Yeah. Well, anyway, so that was AEW, and they're setting up for Wednesday. Wednesday's going to be a big-ass show. There's tons of matches going on. We will break that down Wednesday night and bring you Thursday AEW. I'm looking really, really forward to what they have. I'm looking forward to the final. I really am. Two big beasts going at it. It could be a dud. It could not be a dud. We don't know. I am not going to pre-qualify it for a banger, but I would be surprised if it wasn't. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't.
Let's see what happens. Let's see
Yeah.
if Nyla clears medical, because she got something. If it was a concussion, she got banged up pretty good.
I know. She looked like she got chloroformed by Dexter Loomis. Right, Nick?
She did look a little dazed, yes.
All right, so that is everything AEW. Now it's on to the WWE Power Hour.
And I'm gonna start this power hour so you don't have to chloroform the one.
Are we
you
just
love.
using the word power because it rhymes with hour?
Oh,
You never heard of power
how about
hour
this?
before?
How about this? The WWE Sour Hour.
There it is.
I feel like that's
There
more
it is.
accurate. The Sour Hour.
That dog will hunt.
Because we fucking hate WWE right now. Let's go.
Wow.
The Sour Hour.
Well, and don't think I'm gonna talk for an hour about this dog shit. So we're gonna start off with SmackDown. SmackDown, which of course is the Jar Jar Binks of wrestling shows. Keep it on the prequel path here. We are big Star Wars nerds, just by the way, except for Nick, who's a grumpy old fucker.
Dude, I like 4,
He likes
5,
three.
and 6.
He likes three.
4,
he likes
5,
three
and
of them.
6. Outside of that,
Jamie expands a little bit. I love Star Wars, period. So we're at different levels of stardom.
Yeah.
Of the three of us, one has a Star Wars tattoo, and he's talking. So I'm just going to throw that at you. Who's the bigger fan? So, but SmackDown, definitely the Jar Jar Binks of the WWE family. So it just pisses me off because they had such good things going. They had all this potential. They were running with the Roman Reigns angle, and then I don't know what the fuck they're doing. So predictable. Roman Reigns starts off. He comes out, same fucking promo he does every week. I'm being extra vulgar on this. I don't know.
dude,
why
you know
I
what's
am.
funny,
I'm
JJ? I turned this
What?
on. I clicked on Hulu, and I'm like, SmackDown, most recent episode, and I just clicked it. And it starts off, and I'm like, I know, I'm pretty sure I saw this one already. And it went, and I had that feeling.
That's
for
about
10
right,
minutes.
'cause,
And then I was
I mean,
maybe I haven't seen this. I'm not sure yet.
I mean, Triple H is in charge of SmackDown. He has said ad nauseum how much he believes in 50-50 booking. And if you need proof, just watch SmackDown more than once, and you'll get it. So Roman Reigns out there, same freaking promo, interrupted by Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's trying to stir up the pot. I don't even know what for, because it was official after Elimination Chamber. It's going to be Edge versus that. Well, Daniel Bryan wants to challenge Roman at Fastlane, which is they got to try and sell that pay-per-view. It's their test run on the Peacock. So he gets kicked in the head by Jey Uso, and then there's a match going to be later on tonight. So Jey Uso, Daniel Bryan. If Daniel Bryan wins, he gets a match against Roman Reigns at Fastlane. Okay, great.
As long as it's not Kevin Owens for the 18th time.
Yeah, they're giving Kevin Owens a week off or two. Whatever. Follow that up. You got Edge looking like a skeleton. I mean,
Guy looks sickly.
he did not look good physically. I mean, he sounded fine, but he looked like a skeleton. It's like, good God, someone get him a sandwich.
He looks anemic.
Yeah. He definitely does not have the power of Grayskull. That is obvious.
I mean, you're there. Stop cutting carbs, okay? Have a couple more carbs.
Hey, you remember that movie Meatballs?
Yeah, of course.
And they had the little knockoff ET in it.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like. He looks like the knockoff ET.
He's a knockoff ET.
I'm gonna have to throw that up on
He's
Twitter because
BT.
most people aren't gonna
BT?
get that reference. Yeah, BT.
So we actually had matches after this. Ray and Dominic Mysterio versus Otis and Chad Gable again.
2 weeks in a row. Let's get the ticker.
2 weeks in a row.
Ticker, 2 weeks.
50,
2 week ticker.
50-50 booking. And Otis and Gable win.
Oh, wow.
So-
was it like stopped via disqualification because they turned heel again?
Oh no, they're fully heel now, but I don't know. I don't even want to think about it because it's like I remember somebody put up a picture on Twitter. It says, "Remember AEW or remember NXT's tag team division back in 2016?" And it showed there was the DIY and Undisputed Era and American Alpha and Authors of Pain. I go, "Oh god damn, that was a good time."
Yeah.
That was
Authors
such a
of
good
Pain,
time.
not AOP. Authors of Pain.
Yes, you could say words. So, all right, Otis and Gable, that's a thing now. And then Apollo Crews came out with a kind of promo before his next match. He's got a scarf now, and okay, so his promo is that he's basically changing his gimmick. That he's not from the ghetto, he's not from the suburbs, he's from Nigeria, which I'm pretty sure he's descended Nigerian.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what
know
they
for
said.
sure. I didn't actually look it up. But he's like, I'm from Nigeria. My grandfather was a king over there. I go, is that legit or is this a work or a shoot? I don't know. It feels like, and this may be my insensitivity kicking through, but it felt like WWE is like, oh shit, we got 2 days left of Black History Month. We need to do more.
Just shoehorn something in there.
You're like you're the real African American. That's what he said. Which is a good work to have if you're. He's in a long-term three-way feud with Big E, so he's going after Big E, saying he's the real African American, which is like, oh damn. I can't believe
I thought that was weird. Like that would be like me and Jamie having I'm more Scotch Irish than he is. It's just it felt really weird to me.
I know.
You're probably right, but
It's like
I've actually been doing my genealogy. I actually
what are we
trace
doing
back.
here?
I traced myself back to the 1700s to Strathersshire. It's like 15 minutes south of Glasgow. Anywho, so I'm probably more Scotch than both you bitches. But
See? Now we got our own little three-way feud going.
There we go.
I'm from the Royal House of Stuart.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
I found my tartan. I found my tartan for my region. We're not in the Highlands. I don't know why we're talking about this. Okay, so yeah, it felt awkward. It's the whole thing felt like I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't know. I feel like if this is the path you're going to go down, I don't have a problem with the gimmick at all. I actually kind of dig it in a way. I just feel like it came out of nowhere.
That's the way I took it.
Apollo Crews, you've basically had him as just nondescript guy. You know, he's a wrestler, and then now he finally has a gimmick. It's like, why didn't you give this to him? Like maybe when you pulled him up, or maybe when you switched over brands, or whatever.
It's like reverse Kofi.
Reverse Kofi, sure. So.
You know what it sounds.
Then he actually had a match against Shinsuke Nakamura.
You know what it sounds
he
like
won
though. You know what it sounds like.
What?
Sounds like Triple H made a call over to Raw. He says, "Hey, Bruce, can you give me help?" All right, man. Listen to this. You see, Apollo Crews, we're gonna make him Nigerian royalty. Nigerian royalty.
I just saw the Coming to America 2 preview.
Yeah, exactly. I just saw Coming to America 2, and he needs to be a prince. And then this is what we're gonna do for shock value. We're gonna say he's the real African American, just to dig it into Big E. No one will find that at all offensive. Trust me, I'm a white guy. I know. Yep, that's Bruce.
Did somebody hook you up with the tapes?
Tape, what the hell are you talking about?
With the
Like, I mean, yeah. Like,
What tape?
were you just playing live audio there?
See, I know somebody on the inside.
Yeah.
I can't give up my stuff. But yeah, that's real audio for Bruce Prichard helping out Triple H. And Vince is gonna love it too. Don't worry about Vince. You just tell
Poor
Vince.
JJ.
He just
I just want to get through this shit show.
You
You
just
guys are
tell
sitting here like
Vince.
dicking around.
that we're gonna call him
God.
an African prince.
You didn't even
Idiot.
watch the son of a
Dude.
bitch.
No, I
Rick.
didn't.
I
I
can
didn't watch
see-
one fucking minute of it, and I don't even care.
Both of you bastards are just going off, and I'm just like, let me finish this shit
Dude,
so we can.
For
oh,
the
God.
for the audience at home, JJ's got like little thought bubbles popping up. And just, God damn it!
It's like I just want to be done with it.
Oh, don't worry.
Y-
Bruce
yeah.
is coming back here in
So-
a minute.
Well, let's wait till we get to Bruce's show. You can pull up Bruce all the fuck you want.
But it feels like
So,
Bruce Prichard. That's all I'm saying. It feels like him.
It feels like a Bruce Prichard twist. It does. It came out goddamn nowhere. So that's the whole thing.
Hashtag out of nowhere.
He fought Shinsuke again. He beat Shinsuke again. Poor Shinsuke. Remember Shinsuke Nakamura was
Third
the
week in a
biggest
row.
signing in the world. Yeah. Okay.
We're on
yeah.
week
He
3.
was over
Week 3.
immediately.
I mean, when it happened, everybody was like, "Oh shit, they really signed him! Holy crap!" And then now and the NXT was great. Pulled him up and was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be great," and then it wasn't, and then whatever. He's fully buried, but he's making a lot of money, so there's that. Quick look backstage as Roman Reigns moping around because if Daniel Bryan wins, he gets a title shot. So they are doing to Roman Reigns what they did to Roman Reigns' good, legitimate, his first good gimmick since the Shield, since he didn't say a word. They're doing to it what they did to Becky Lynch's The Man character. It just, I'm pretty much over Roman Reigns now, and I loved it. For the first time, I like Roman Reigns' character, and then all of a sudden it's just okay. We gotta stop this shit. So. What do they do to make up for that? Well, they're trying to make JJ real happy. They have Tamina versus Liv Morgan. They don't even introduce them. They come back from a commercial and they ring the bell and they start Tamina versus Liv Morgan. You got Natalia and Ruby Riott, Ruby, on the outside, and they were overselling the shit out of Tamina. Like Corey Graves is just going to town about. Basically, you
How
would have thought that
dominant
she invented wrestling from some of the shit he was saying. It was just whatever. She does some like really hard bumps on Liv, and my only other note I have here is let me check. Oh yes, fuck this shit. Okay,
Well, I think so. Obviously, Tamina won, right?
yes, she won.
I really think if Liv maybe would have believed in herself a little bit more, probably could have got the W.
You're just going after them trolls now. Way to go.
Yep. Fuck you, trolls. Fuck you.
And then we had the. I'm immediately turning away because if you've listened to any of our podcasts, you know my thoughts on the women's tag division and the Riot Squad, specifically Ruby Riott, Ruby.
It's like
Yeah.
you talking about it is like watching any match on WWE program. It's the same fucking match every time. This is the same fucking conversation.
It makes
every
me.
time.
It's so blatantly obvious, and okay, I'll make mention of it later on. So when we get to Raw, they don't show up on Raw. Don't worry, but we'll talk about the tag division a little bit more later on because now we've got a big moment. It's time for Bianca Belair's decision. Who's she going to choose? It's going to be Asuka. It's going to be Sasha Banks. Remember, Bianca Belair is a SmackDown wrestler, and Asuka is not even there. So why are we even feigning interest in this? So anyway, she comes out to make her decision, and before she can say who she's going to choose, she's interrupted by fucking Reginald. This goddamn guy. First of all, I don't know if that's his actual accent. If it is, more power to you. If it's not, God damn it, stop. I just can't take Reginald anymore. He is the most publicized member of the WWE SmackDown women's division right now. I just want to say that. Because that's a legitimate thing.
You called him
He
by
talks
his wrong
for
name.
a long time.
Do what?
You called him by his wrong name.
Reginald?
Virgil 2.0.
Okay, well, I'm not going down to Virgil 2.0.
You gave it to me last week. Don't take it
did
away
last
from me,
week, but
damn it.
I'm took it away. He took it away. Fuck you, Reginald. Banks ends up coming out, and then they're trying to turn Sasha heel for this feud, as you can tell. It just feels forced, but ooh, shocker, Bianca chooses Sasha to fight at WrestleMania, and then she points at the sign for like 3 minutes. I am so over pointing at the sign. Just
it's
stop
awful.
that.
It is
Stop
awful.
It was bad enough when there are people in the stands. Now
It makes me like I wish that the sign would fall.
Or at least have some pyros go off when they point at it, so they can make it even more
No,
pizzazz.
They do, but I think that makes it worse. Like, for example, when Edge pointed at it after he came out and speared Roman at Elimination Chamber, they had all his pyro going off like in his pyro fashion behind the sign, and it was almost worse. It was like, okay, is that really necessary? Because he's just sitting there longer now and pointing, but with flair. I'm pointing with flair at the sign. I don't know.
Dude, they just do it like it's just so fucking
I know.
awful.
My blood pressure is rising too. Don't worry.
Dude, they
Okay.
just stand in the same spot. They hold the same pose. It's not organic at all. It's super repetitive. It's just stupid.
And who are you pointing the sign for? Are you telling somebody look at that? You're looking at the sign, so you're not looking at the camera saying, "Yeah, that's what I'm."
You know what? It would be a lot better if somebody just got done whipping somebody else's ass and they went and grabbed him like by the back of the head and made him look at the sign. That would be a little bit more worth everyone's time.
That would make sense at least. But
You grab his
that's
head.
not
You
gonna
grab their
happen.
head like you're not fucking going, you loser. You piece of trash. You piece of garbage.
Yeah.
You piece of
So
trash.
we go from that. I'm gonna get through this thing, no matter how much you fuckers try to derail my ass. You can't stop me. So
Piece of garbage.
we have a
Jamie.
promo with Sami Zayn. I can talk louder than you, son of a bitch. Okay, you try me. My guy's a pastor. I got them vocal cords. I can belt it out. So we had a promo with Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin. Sami's trying to convince Corbin that they could be a tag team and win the titles. Surprise, surprise! They have a tag team match next against Street Profits. Whatever. Corbin keeps getting mad at the film crew. Sami Zayn's film crew's in his way, and Street Profits end up winning. So,
As they should.
that's
As they should.
you have one legitimate tag team on Raw on SmackDown. One, it's the Street Profits. Everything else is just a bunch of crap thrown together. Daniel Bryan promo interrupted by Skeletor Edge, and then no. I can't even do a Skeletor. I can't do that. Rollins promo. Then Rollins comes out. He's interrupted by Cesaro. He tries to recruit Cesaro. He wants to lead him. He has this new tagline. There's going to be a T-shirt here in approximately 3.5 days. It's about it's there it is. Embrace the vision. Okay, and then Cesaro
Dude,
swings.
why does everything suck now? Like it all sucks. There's
It
nothing
does.
good. All of it. All
You
of
think
it sucks.
you think there's like a piece or something? And remember, I said it was just a couple months ago where SmackDown was putting on some good shows week after week. There were some shit matches and there was a couple bad promos, of course, but you had some
Dude, it's
decent
like
matches.
going into the
Vince-
kitchen
Vince
when
is
you're
back
hungry
in
and
control.
there's no good food there.
Vince is back in control. It's obvious. This is Vince. This
And
is
it's
not
got-
Triple H.
it's-
It cannot be.
It's
I refuse to
gotta
believe
be.
it is Triple H.
Well, Cesaro ends up swinging Seth Rollins for a long ass time, and then okay, that's it. And then you get the main event: Daniel Bryan, Jey Uso. It was okay. Roman Reigns interfered, spears him, does a guillotine, chokes him out. They don't ever ring the bell. This match never actually officially ended. So next week you're gonna get Daniel Bryan and Jey Uso in a steel cage. And it'll probably be meh as well. So
what's the over/under on how many consecutive weeks we're going to see Daniel Bryan and Jey Uso?
when's Fastlane?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. What's fast like 3 weeks from now?
He's gonna keep redoing it until the week before Fastlane, where Daniel Bryan wins and earns that title shot at Fastlane.
There you go.
And then he gets the shit
That's-
stomped out of him at Fastlane. So dumb.
So that was SmackDown. It was total crap. There was I look for a redeeming quality and I can't find it. It's not there. Maybe Apollo Crews' gimmick, but they have felt uncomfortable.
Compliments of
Street
Bruce
Profits
Prichard.
are good, but they're wasted.
Okay.
It sucked. I'm not even gonna give you guys. Do you guys want to say anything else about it, or are you just gonna keep?
No,
I mean,
I'm not even gonna dignify that show.
I'm not going to dignify that with a response.
Really? Because you've been dignifying it for the past 20 minutes.
Oh,
I
no,
know,
we've been making
I
fun of
know.
it. And you know what?
I know.
You know what?
I
It
know.
was terrible. And I didn't even watch it. And I knew it was terrible. Because you know why?
I
Twitter
truly
told us
was
horseshit
confused.
bad.
Yes. I truly was confused about whether or not I had seen this episode or not before.
Is that bad?
It really was.
Legit.
It
I
took
mean,
me
let's-
like 10 minutes before I'm like, okay, no, I hadn't
okay.
seen this.
Here's the thing. Open with Roman Reigns. That's a copy. Quick look at Edge. That's a copy. Mysterio's Otis Gable copy. Paul Shinsky copy. Tamina, Liv Morgan, so some version of the Riot Squad and Tamina and Natalia. That's a copy. Bianca Belair with goddamn Reginald and Sasha doing a whole lot of nothing. Copy. Sami Zayn and Corbin. It's a little bit different, but against Street Profits. So you had there's a little bit
Sliver of new.
different. Daniel, Rollins with Cesaro. That's a copy from last week. Daniel Bryan Jey Uso. That's kind of new, but not really. So you had two new, and everything else in a 2-hour show was pretty much the same damn thing as the past 2 weeks. So.
But wait, there's more. Raw.
Because we go from that to, and I will say this, of the two of them, it's a low bar. It's by far the lowest bar I think I've seen in a while. Raw was probably the better of the two, only because I don't even know. I'll get to it why in a second here. So Raw starts off again, but this time you don't have The Miz doing a promo to start. You have McIntyre doing a promo to start. He's then interrupted by The Miz, who tries to manipulate Drew into getting involved in his match against Lashley tonight. The theme of this show was how many ways can Miz try to avoid fighting Bobby Lashley? Mm-hmm. Sheamus comes out, and then it's Drew versus Sheamus. And, the match itself wasn't a bad match.
It was a pretty good match.
Two of them could put on.
Yeah.
They could put on a good match. Here's my thing with it. You put that good of a match to start this show. It covered 3 commercial breaks. I made sure to double check once it was finished. 43 minutes into this show, and this match finished. This is like a 30-minute match,
Yeah.
and it's out of place to start a random ass Monday Night Raw. This is a match that I like. The match itself. The two of them could put the work together. They play well off each other. They know each other so well. And the spots they were doing was some ridiculous shit. This should have been a fast lane match.
I agree.
But
This was a waste of a pay-per-view match.
to open a show, too. It wasn't even the main event.
Yeah. It should have been a pay-per-view
So-
match.
Yeah. So,
Stupid.
all right. That's what you got. So then after that, by the way, don't forget, Raw is real big on doing timer clocks now. So you keep coming back from break and you keep having up in the corner. There's the countdown to the Miz versus Lashley match because it's going to be at the top of the hour at the 9 o'clock Eastern hour.
Yeah, the
Eastern
Bobby
time.
Lashley beatdown.
So this is clocks. Again, second week in a row, we've got a Bobby Lashley clock going on with The Miz. And what the fuck? So next match is Naomi Nia Jax. It was
It was a squash.
it was such a murder. It wasn't even a squash. Like Nia Jax just obliterated the
It
crap out
made
of
Naomi, who's a really damn good wrestler, look like a rookie. Like it looked bad. It looked like legit looked like it was, her tag team partner and not her.
Remember, these are your number one contenders for the women's tag team championship. FYI, just in case you were wondering.
So they're
Now, of
building him
course-
up to overcome the the obstacles.
God, I hope not. I hope it's not going to happen. But I would hope that this week on NXT, Nia Jax and Shayna drop the belts to Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. Then you can set up you've got your number one contenders, okay? That's who they are. And then you have a representative from SmackDown, please God, Riot Squad. And then maybe you have, Nia Jackson, Shayna, if you want to have them again, so that you can build it up to be like those four teams to be a 4-way match at Mania. That's the only redeeming quality I see here. And I say that because I know that they're not going to push the Riot Squad any other way.
Well, Bruce has a comment about this, but he's going to wait till another segment.
All right. Well, you just hold your you just hold tight, Bruce. Trust me, I know a segment he's gonna get in on because it's playfully
You're goddamn right. I'm gonna come in on that one. Shut up, Bruce. It's not your time yet.
So
fuck you. Okay,
real quick, Bruce. I'm gonna put you in the corner. Okay. So real quick reminder that Rhea Ripley's coming to Raw soon. We don't know when. Could be any time. She's coming soon. It's going to be the Monday after Fastlane, but she could be any time. You don't know.
I bet it's next week.
You think it's next week? I hope
sure
so.
Do.
But we'll see what happens. And finally, the clock runs down to 0, and we get Lashley versus Miz. And Lashley comes out, and there's no Miz. There's no Miz. So they go into the backstage. He's trying to feign he's got a stomach bug or some bullshit.
Yeah. He's like, I got the
shits.
I got the
horrible.
shits real bad.
Somebody get us a towel. It's like, okay.
Yeah, he shit himself. That was pretty funny. Like the whole thing.
Funny.
Give him a towel. And he kept checking his ass
funny.
like, he shit himself. Ha ha ha.
He stayed consistent in his chicken shit appearance, or character the whole night.
You would
so I will give
too.
him that.
You would be too if you had Bobby Lashley wanting to kick your ass.
I'm not gonna fight Bobby Lashley. Are you kidding me?
I would legit shit my pants. I'd be just like him, but for real.
All right. So now it's definitively going to be moved. It's going to be at the 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock hour Central. Adam Pearce decided it's going to be moved. He's happening tonight. Okay, fine, whatever. So now we got Strowman coming out. Braun Strowman's playing the Woe Is Me card, all this stuff. He was never great on the mic, but I feel like they're giving him more mic time now, which is a bad thing. Because he's just not good. And I don't understand his character at all. They have squandered the fuck out of him. But it's okay, because here comes Shane McMahon and Adam Pearce. They come out, and Shane keeps going on that he's here to do some conflict management. And he obviously just looked up that word, because he has to say it at least 6 times in the next 30 seconds. It's like, good God, memorize your goddamn lines, Shane. So Strowman's getting a tag team title match next. And who's his tag team partner going to be? Well, because his problem is with WWE management, he's making sure Shane is that he's going to team with Adam Pearce. This is so obvious, like I said last week, what they're doing. It just, oh God, I'm just beyond it. Whatever. We know you're going to fight. Shane McMahon and Strowman are going to fight at WrestleMania, and Shane's going to almost die doing something stupid. Okay, we know it's going to happen. Fine. So Strowman beats the living piss out of the Hurt Business. Just beats the everything crap out of them. Takes any sort of offense they tried to reiterate and just won. I mean, he looked like the monster of old. He does a running power slam close to his corner. And that's when Shane McMahon gets on the apron, the hardest part of the ring, and makes sure to tell him to tag in his partner. Like a reverse Matt Hardy all of a sudden. And Strowman is looking confused. Pearce even looks confused. And Strowman begrudgingly slaps his hand. He comes in. Pearce gets rolled up. Pearce, who is still wearing his sport coat, by the way. Show you how much he wanted to wrestle in this goddamn piece of shit match.
Yeah.
Hurt
sport
business.
coat. Wrestling in a sport coat. What the hell?
Didn't even take off the jacket. It's like,
No.
come on, man.
Hard pass. Hard pass.
So checking backstage, and there's our boy Bad Bunny and Damian Priest.
He's Bad Bunny.
And Elias comes over to try to level with Bad Bunny because they're of the same ilk. FYI, if you didn't know it, Bad Bunny has got a new hoodie out on WWEshot.com. I mean, they're being blatantly obvious that this guy is here to sell us a crap ton of merchandise. Sure, whatever. Then Elias goes into the ring. He's interrupted by Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus Elias. Okay, sure. It was a decent match.
Mm-hmm.
I still worry about Damian Priest. I know they're doing to him what they've done to everybody else they've called up in the last 2 years from NXT, but it is what it is.
Did you see that they changed his finisher's name?
I have that note here. I think I caught that last week, but I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
So yeah, they changed it from Reckoning to Hit the Lights.
Yeah.
And I wish y'all could see Nick's face right now. Nick's face is just.
All right, y'all. This is what we had to do. So we already had a Reckoning, so we couldn't have a finishing move called Reckoning. And Vince doesn't like it when we have two things. So whatever Vince says goes. So this is what we had to do. See, here's the thing. Damian Priest just came up. He just came up, so I got to take it away from him. So we're going to give him something. And I thought of it all by myself. No one helped me. We called his finishing move, which is the Crossroads, basically, for any of you AEW fans. Hit the Lights. Because you know why? Because when his entrance, he shoots the arrow and his name comes up like he hits the lights. It's fucking genius. Fucking genius.
I didn't even know where Hit the Lights came from. That's probably it too.
See?
Wow.
He's a genius. I mean, just ask him. I'm really hoping I get blocked by him this week. That's my goal. Or us.
try hard
or
enough,
us.
you will.
Us. We are gonna get blocked by him.
You want Total Spotfest to get blocked?
Absolutely.
That is at Total Spotfest on Twitter. We watch the shenanigans that arise in the next couple days here. We're gonna go hard and fast.
Well, I fired off.
We're gonna unleash Nick the Dick on him. And if
I'm
you
Bruce
if you,
Prichard.
Yeah, if you thought Nick, going off on Dexter Loomis last week was an aberration, you don't know Nick very well. He can do that on anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So the cool thing is like you got parody from Jamie, and that's a little endearing, and then you're just gonna get just the wrath that he truly deserves.
Yeah. Nick's gonna raw dog him.
We're gonna earn that block.
Raw dog.
Yes.
Hashtag raw dog. Okay.
Yes.
This is Monday Night Raw dog. Okay. Randy Orton interview next to backstage here, which is one of the few redeeming qualities of this night.
Really?
I will say.
Really?
I'm still on board with the whole Alexa thing. I am.
I was fine with it
still on
until
board.
the very, very end.
Okay, so what happened was that he was on there doing an interview, and then it cuts to there's Alexa Bliss. It looks like it's over his shoulder. It's actually on the monitor, and she's in the fun house, which is now her pentagram, since
Her Bride of Chucky trailer.
Yeah, whatever it is,
Perfect.
she's gonna do her seance circle. That's what I was looking for, and she's got a Jack in the Box, and she keeps talking about it. That he's gonna bring it back, and then it shows a hooded figure walking up, and it's Randy Orton, but not Randy Orton's voice, and it's all ominous and stuff, and all this shit, and then Randy starts choking, and yeah. It ended kind of meh, but I'm still on board with Alexa Bliss and the resurrection angle of the Fiend, of whatever it's going to be.
I loved it until fucking Demon Orton came out. Demon Orton, you put some blackout contacts in him and have him speak in an ominous way, and all of a sudden he's Demon Orton. The fuck? God damn it, Bruce Prichard.
How many weeks
I'm
back
gonna give
is
them,
this going?
This has been one of the few running segments they have on this damn show that has been entertaining for the most part throughout its breadth. So I'm giving it the credit of the doubt.
Yeah, I'm giving it a pass. But if I see another Demon fucking Orton go off next Monday or Tuesday when you guys hear this, I'm gonna go off. AWF off. Like Bruce Prichard might not even be allowed to talk that week.
I'm gonna be honest with you, fellas. I am sick to fucking death of it. I hate it. I hate it.
I wish they would
reached
shit
my
or get
limit.
off the pot.
That's the perfect way to put it. That's the perfect way.
And they're not going to. They're going to wait till right before WrestleMania to bring back the Fiend or
Fastlane.
Bray Wyatt or however, maybe Fastlane. I don't know. just come with it. Come on. So, moving right along here. That's okay, because right up next we have an actual title match. So, take 2, Miz versus Bobby Lashley. They actually come into the ring. So, in the ring, we're going to do this right at the top of the hour. Bell rings. Miz runs out like a bitch, grabs his belt, and then just books it to the back, which I appreciated this part of it. As I said, he was consistent as F in keeping his chicken shit shtick going, and that was the most chicken shit thing I think I've ever seen. Just this, like the bell hadn't even finished like vibrating from being run, and he's out, belt, run back to the back. Okay. So we'll come back to that in a second here. So, because next you get a Charlotte promo. So, Charlotte promo where she comes out and said that she came back after her injury, and she legitimately came back to not go after Asuka, wanted to team with Asuka. She was basically said she wanted to put Asuka over as WWE champion,
Bullshit.
be a good tag team partner, and then immediately says that, all right, now I want to challenge for the Raw. It's like, why lie? Everybody knows since the second you came back, you're going to challenge. But anyway, so she wants to challenge, and then interrupted by Shayna Baszler. Irony is that Nia Jax is walking out with Shayna Baszler, then tells Charlotte that no one in the back likes you. It's like, really? Coming from you, Nia? That's interesting to say. But okay.
Right.
Charlotte and Shayna have a quick match. Charlotte squashes her. These are your women's tag team champions. Let me remind you that these are legitimate champions in this company. So there you are. I was wondering when you're going to chime in.
All right. Here's the angle, guys. I will make sure you all are aware of what I am planning for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Okay, you ready for this? I just want to make sure you're ready. Mm-hmm. You better put on some good underwear or some diapers, because this shit's gonna rock your world. All right, here we go. So, as we all know, there's this one tattooed punk rock girl coming. Rhea Ripley, I think that's her name. Whatever. She's at NXT. I don't give a fuck about her. But this is what we're going to do. We are going to tag her because if you noticed, I made sure Nia said, "You don't have any friends?" to Charlotte. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to have Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair of the Flairs, the most prestigious name in all of sports entertainment, go for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship belts. They're going to pair them two together. Then Charlotte has a friend and her new little NXT buddy that no one knows, that isn't a big deal whatsoever. And we're going to have them go together, and then they're going to take the titles. That's what's going to happen. It's fucking brilliant.
What's Vince think?
Vince?
I don't fucking know anymore.
Vince is on board. You know why? You know why? Because he loves the Flairs, and we are also contractually obligated to give them a title shot at WrestleMania, no matter which one it is.
Well, she's getting a title shot. Everybody under the sun knows that she's facing Asuka for the fucking title. It's just like there's no surprise that Bianca Belair was going to fight Sasha Banks for the title. Once again, why do we gotta do this? You're not fooling a goddamn person. Even the casual fan can be like, well, she's gonna fight her for the championship at WrestleMania. I know that already. Just Jesus Christ, you could do fucking things and just brr. JJ, okay, all right. Woosah.
Right?
Woosah.
Bruce Prichard's heavily involved in this, and you know it, and I know it. He's like,
I absolutely know it. And mind you, I just want to throw this out here because it's that time of the week. Charlotte engaged to a very talented wrestler. I don't know if you ever heard of him. It's his name. They call him Andrade. Nowhere to be fucking found for God knows how long.
Who's on?
Damn shame.
Who's Andrade? I never heard of him.
Oh, he's a Mexican. He's one of those
Oh, yeah.
Mexicans.
We don't like Mexicans. Vince and I don't like Mexicans. I thought you
Like
already
Rey
knew.
Mysterio? You like Rey Mysterio though?
No, he's on SmackDown for a reason.
We have racist Bruce Prichard, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
Yeah. The only reason we have Bad Bunny is because he sells a lot of fucking t-shirts, guys. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No dollars, man.
Yeah. He's also Puerto Rican, Bruce.
Close enough. They're all the same to me because I'm a racist redneck. I couldn't hold it. I'm sorry.
Man, we pulled the race card out like 4 times this episode.
Math
fucking Bruce
doesn't
Prichard.
lie.
It doesn't. But anyway, I'm just throwing that out here. It's our weekly like,
does
hey,
not lie.
remember this guy? Hey, remember? Okay.
Okay, moving on.
It actually goes with the next match here. It's like, hey, do you guys remember a guy named Ricochet? How he could do some incredible things here?
Never heard of him.
Well, tough shit because you're getting Retribution in a 6-man tag versus Matt Riddle and the Lucha House Party. of
It's
course.
just Riddle, bro.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, it's Riddle. It is definitely Riddle. This is your United States champion, and is he getting in a feud maybe because there's 2 pay-per-views coming up, or there's a pay-per-view coming up before WrestleMania? Maybe he should get in a feud with somebody. No, we're just gonna have him tag with the Lucha House Party. So, Riddle and the House Party win, and then Ollie comes in. It's angry Ollie again, and he's yelling about how much the rest of Retribution sucks because they keep losing. And
True.
I agree with him, but that's not why they suck. But this goddamn gimmick is just like, how is this? It's been almost a year. I thought about it the other day. It's like, because remember, this is not long after they started their whole like quarantine COVID shows. They started the whole Retribution. Who's doing all these bad things outside the Performance Center? It's getting close to a year. So then you have Ollie challenge Riddle for a match, and so here's your. I guess this is going to be your feud for the U.S. title coming up here. Who knows? Because it ends. It's short ass match. Everybody on Retribution interferes, including Mia a Reckoning. Excuse me.
Thank you. I came up with her name personally.
And it leads to Ollie doing some weird top rope maneuver, which looked like a botch. I don't even know what it was.
It was a
but he gets
total
the
fucking botch. I don't care what you say. It's supposed to be like a top rope backstabber type thing.
I was riding my bike as it was going on, so I was paying half-ass attention to this point here. I was just pausing to take notes every once in a while.
Consider
and
yourself lucky.
Well, I still saw enough of it. So, all right. So that happened, and then we have the main event. 3rd time's the charm. Miz, Lashley, Shane O'Mac then chimes up that he's going to make this a lumberjack match. So you have all the WWE locker room comes out. We get an Humberto Carrillo sighting. We get a Titus O'Neil sighting. Holy shit, this guy's still employed. And
Haven't seen him since Saudi Arabia.
yeah, no. We did see him when the Hurt Business was first formed. He tried to like get in on the Hurt
Oh,
Business.
that's
and they
right.
just
That's
beat,
right.
They beat him down real quick. Anyway, Miz immediately tries to weasel his way out of the match somehow, trying to like sweet talk any lumberjack he can. He keeps getting thrown back in. It's a squash match. Lashley beats the living piss out of him, puts on the full Nelson Hurt Lock or whatever the hell it's called, and makes him tap out in, I won't say record time, but very effing fast. And as everybody and their mother could have probably guessed, he's a transitional champion. Lashley is your new WWE champion. Lashley versus Drew McIntyre is a main event I can get behind for WrestleMania. I'm just going to say that. No matter how much shit was going on this night here, there still was a good match, although it was misused or misplaced, to open the night. And Lashley taking the belt is a relief because Miz got to get back to that feud with Bad Bunny. I mean, he does.
He's Bad Bunny. But you know what? You know what, guys? You know what sells more than Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre?
What?
What?
Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. That's right. That's right.
I keep forgetting that's out there.
Vince himself had to give Brock a handy in order for this to happen.
Are you sure you're not going to pull back Goldberg? I mean,
No. Vince is over his old balls. He really likes Brock's. I think we all know this.
So Brock's balls are in it to win it. So that was Raw for the week. SmackDown was crap. Raw was mostly crap with a couple good highlights. Guys, any final thoughts?
I mean,
that McIntyre Sheamus match was good.
yeah, that was it. Like, that was the highlight of the night. That was a pay-per-view quality match that should have happened on a pay-per-view, but of course they fucking blew it on a shit show with tons of bad writing. Like, this whole angle with Braun Strowman sucks. The ultra long burn is getting underneath my skin, and Demon Randy Orton. And let's just not even get into the Hurt Business shit. I mean, even though there was a nice moment when MVP said bullshit on TV, I got giddy about that.
See, I don't mind the Hurt Business as a whole. I don't mind it because it's consistent for the most part.
Yeah,
it's consistent. It's a good looking group. It is. I made this reference a few weeks ago, but it's basically a classier iteration of MVP's Beatdown Clan from TNA. Beatdown Clan was Samoa Joe, Low Key, Kenny King, and MVP, and I like it. It's all black guys wearing expensive suits, kind of that high end, like start from the bottom, now we're here sort of, vibe to, is the way that MVP's playing it. And they don't let Lashley talk a lot, which is good. I like the shtick. I think that the way it's used is not always the best, but I dig the shtick a little bit. So I'm pro Hurt Business in general.
I am, except for the tag team championship match thing. Made them look really weak against Braun Strowman.
Made them look terrible.
That pissed me off.
Like, there's no reason they shouldn't still be in a feud. Like you can beat this into the ground. Them and the New Day back and forth. Remember when the New Day and the Usos did that for like 4 months, and they just kept swapping the belts back and forth, and it was great every time.
You want to know why? Because they were able to put on like 4-star matches consistently, and every now and again peak to a 5. Well, the Hurt Business can do that, but they can't do it consistently like the Usos can. I'm sorry. Like, Shelton Benjamin's past his prime. I think Cedric Alexander is a star, and he's just waiting in the wings, and they're finally using him. Finally. And
I think Ced can do that. Ced can carry that, and Sheldon's he's past his prime like Kofi's past his prime. They're not that far past their prime, not really.
Fair. Okay, I'll give you that.
And with what you have to work with, why not just do that? If you're gonna give me this shit 50-50 booking, give me something that at least is halfway decent. So, all right, that's what we got. That was Raw. Do you have any final thoughts there, Nick?
Was never a big Miz fan, but he now gives me the same feeling that I used to get when Enzo and Big Cass came out, which is just pure unbridled hatred.
Wow.
That's where I'm at with.
Oh, it's not a WWE show if Nick isn't getting just upset at somebody.
You know what though? I shouldn't pinpoint the Miz. It's kind of the entire production.
The whole thing's shit.
Yeah.
With a couple little, like I said, morsels of corn in that shit.
Well said.
That's a bad picture. All right.
No, you're pretty.
Or
accurate.
not? No, I'm pretty close. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's what we got here.
It's sad that we're all like, yeah, like we all see it. Like, yeah.
It is the sour hour.
Spoiler alert, the sour hour fits a lot better, especially because we know this is going to keep up the way it is. And JJ's going to drive himself to drinking watching this shit every week. So, yeah, it is what it is. Anywho, we'll be back in a couple days. So, quick reminder here, we're going to be moving all the WWE talk, including NXT, to this show, the Tuesday show. So Our next coming show is going to be the first one that we release on Thursday, and it's going to be just going over AEW and some other things. We'll talk about New Japan. They recently had the New Japan Strong pay-per-view with one Jon Moxley and one Kenta. We'll get into that. And other things that happen, news and rumblings around wrestling. Might even talk about some independent promotions. Did you guys see the No Holds Barred death match this past weekend?
No.
All right. So I'll talk about that a little bit. And there was a independent wrestling down in Tampa. They had this.
Yeah. I didn't see the card, though. I heard it was insane.
Gary J was in 2 matches, and there was
What?
Yeah, Gary fucking J was there, and no, there was some ridiculous stuff. Like I just followed my was it Saturday night? I think it was. I was just sitting here. I just kept like refreshing my Twitter feed and just seeing everybody putting up these little clips, and it's like, oh my god, some of these spots are just. Death match is just crazy. They're outside. They had the fight pit inside, and they had an outside ring. So it was like a whole day show.
That's awesome.
They did like 2.5, 3 hours on the fight pit, and they went outside for another like 3 hours. And that's why Gary J had 2 matches, one inside, one outside. The outside ring, no apron on it, and instead of ropes, they just had chain.
That's
3
awesome.
ropes of chain. And one corner had a platform on top so they could do stupid ass spots off the top. It was
That's awesome.
Anyway, we'll talk about that more on Thursday. And then next week we'll get NXT from this coming week along with, so that we don't have all doom and gloom on our Tuesday show. We actually have something decent to talk about along with SmackDown and Raw. So
dig it.
That's what we got. Follow the conversation. Please follow us on Twitter at Total Spotfest. Look for us on YouTube. Just search Total Spotfest Live. Give us a subscribe, like, comment on any of the videos as well as tweet us. We're more than happy to hear your guys' thoughts. You can definitely find our podcast as always on all your favorite podcast locations. Nick, any final words for everybody?
So glad we got this out of the way.
You and me both. I'm gonna open a bottle of moonshine. Jamie?
Well, that sounds delicious, by the way. But if you're not down with TSL, I have 3 words for you. Fuck Bruce Prichard.
Oh, follow our Twitter to see what Jamie and Nick do to Bruce too.
It's time to go to work.
Yes. It starts March 2nd, and by March 30th, we will be blocked. Hell, I'm trying to get by March 7th, we'll be blocked. Give us a week. If I can get blocked by then, we're just going to have a big old party. I want to be blocked by that motherfucker. I'm going to just go after him. I just want to get blocked so hard. It'd be so great. Like college.
We will let you guys know. All right. Thank you guys for joining. See you guys next time.
See ya.